Hello and good afternoon, good morning for different places, or good evening, depending on where you're joining from. My name is Samar Hasan, and I'm the co-founder of Epiphany, which is a management and consulting firm and a training firm. And in the gaming space, we do a lot of different types of community events. So I'm delighted to be your moderator for today for this really exciting topic, from local to global Pakistan's app success in 2025 and beyond. With me, what gives me great pleasure is that we are joined by some fantastic panelists today who have in-depth experience of working in the app market space, of observing the trends, what are leading to the success for Pakistan's app market, and they've got experience of globalization and so on and so forth. So what I would love to do as we kickstart, I'd like to introduce each one of them and request them to introduce themselves actually. So we'll start off with Junaid. Junaid is the CEO of Advergic. Junaid, would you like to introduce yourself?
Thank you, Samar. Hello, everyone. This is Junaid. I run Advergic. At Advergic, we are basically an ad tech and ad optimization company. So we help web app and CTV app publishers with their monetization. So we basically handle the entire monetization side of the publishing business. So it's like we this really include like choosing the right ad formats, the optimizing the placements, the position of ads, and also blocking fake or any low quality traffic. We help with user acquisition as well and managing relationships with multiple ad networks. So it's from like start to the end of the overall monetization side. So our mission is very simple. Like we just help publishers earn the maximum possible earning from their users while keeping the user experience and the overall app experience fast, clean, and user friendly.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Junaid. Next, we're joined by Shehzad Ahmed Qureshi. He's the COO at OZI Group. Shehzad, would you like to tell us more about yourself? Oh, you're on mute, Shehzad.
Thanks, Samar. Hi, everyone. My name is Shehzad Ahmed Qureshi. I am CEO of OZI Group. OZI Group is one of the pioneers in mobile apps and gaming industry in Pakistan. Mr. Usman Sheikh started the group 15 years ago with a small team, but with the dream of like having applications developed from Pakistan that can reach across globally to the audience. And right now we are like we are the largest publishers in Pakistan, having like 4 major studios and 10 smaller studios within our group, and working on different categories in the mobile space. One of the biggest achievement of OZI Group is that since we are the pioneers, so we trained and helped professionals to build the pipeline locally in order to develop mobile applications from Pakistan. So many of the years, many of the professionals basically who joined us as in fresh and has gone to start their own setups right now, and they are doing good. So we feel very proud of them that we have done this thing to enable the whole ecosystem in Pakistan. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Shehzad. Absolutely right. The spin-offs that people have gone on to set up, I think that's brilliant, because that's what is also giving a lot of impetus to Pakistan's gaming industry. And by the way, just for people who don't know, Pakistan has thriving game developers and designers. It's a thriving economy, by the way, and it's contributing quite a bit overall to Pakistan's economic growth as well in the country, coming from tech exports and so on. Next, what I'd like to do is request Tan. He's the Senior Business Development Manager at SocialPeta to introduce himself.
Thank you, Samar. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me clearly? All right. My name is Tuấn, and I currently work as a Business Development Manager at SocialPeta. And a little bit about SocialPeta. We are a Chinese advertising intelligent platform. we dedicate ourselves to help user analyze the advertising market for mobile application, both game and non-game globally. To put it simply, you can analyze just generating creatives or the strategy of distributing advertising on different ad channels, or even just a simple ranking of new games or new mobile app based on the amount of advertisement they place on different market. For me personally, I actually based in Vietnam, also a very energetic market in Southeast Asia, and it's very exciting for me to join the discussion today with very experienced peers and partners in the market. I look forward to the insightful discussion of us, and also eager to learn from all of you. Thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Ton. We're looking forward as well. Just a side note, a few years ago, we did a research with Payoneer and Vietnam on, we were comparing different economies in the game space and who's doing what and how have they succeeded. And Vietnam, Turkey, Finland. We covered Turkey, Finland, Vietnam, and then there was a fourth one, now I forget. We covered them as, what is the roadmap that you guys followed and what can Pakistanis learn from it, right? Last but not the least, we have somebody from Google. We've got Tree from Google. Google has obviously been making great inroads. They were not only just one of the earliest sort of partners to start working very, very closely with gaming companies in Pakistan, but over the years, they've really developed strong inroads in the country. So Tree is the new app game acquisition manager for SEA region, including Pakistan as well. So Tree, go ahead and introduce a little bit more about yourself.
Thank you, Samar. And it's my pleasure to be here today with a lot of seniors, industry has thought leadership in the industry. Yeah. And just, about me and about, I know everyone here definitely know about Google. And I mean, a lot of users are using Google Ads as well. Yeah, so for sure, I think that no need to introduce too much. But specifically about my team, we are helping accelerating new business in the industry. Yeah, specifically in Pakistan, Vietnam, and some other country in the region as well. And I mean, for Pakistan, we have been seeing grow a lot, scale the last few years. So definitely we want to invest and support the developer in Pakistan market. Yeah, and a bit about myself. So I've been in the industry for the last 8-9 years. I've been working with monetization, and then also in measurement platform as well. So I think it's definitely helped to consult clients and help you to grow holistically and sustainably. Yeah, yeah, and toward the end, I can share some of the how you can connect with our team if you are you want to connect to Google team and get more support from our team. Yeah.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'd just like to take a quick second to thank all the contributing partners as well for today's conversation. So SocialPeta, who's the key organizer for this particular webinar today, Advergic, Google, OZI Group, and then my company, Epiphany. All right. So without much ado, let's get started. What we definitely want to cover today is what are the key factors that are driving Pakistan's app market growth. We would like to touch upon performance marketing patterns of top apps, the emerging user acquisition trends from data that our friends at SocialPeta will be sharing with us, Google Play growth best practices, and then, of course, we also want to touch upon the challenges in going global and how to overcome them. So as a backdrop, it's very interesting. Pakistan was the 9th largest app market globally last year, right? With 3.56 billion downloads. But it's not just about the downloads, right? Because you can argue downloads and what about the engagement? But they've been spending more than 79 billion hours engaging with these apps. So what that means is that this is a very interesting market in terms of the amount of engagement that people are experiencing. And the other cool bit that I want to highlight is that it's not just gaming as an app which is taking up traction, but also fintech, also e-commerce, also ad tech platforms, ed tech platforms. So the engagement is very robust across different industries. So what we'd like to do is really understand, how we got there, right? And moving forward in 2026, what is the focus going to be like, and what are the sort of predictions for 2026, right? So what I'd like to do is start off with Junaid. My first question is for you. We know that Advergic works with many local companies. What we'd like to understand from you is that based on your experience, what performance marketing patterns have you observed among successful Pakistani apps, right? And the follow-up to that is, what factors are contributing to their success?
Okay, perfect. So yeah, we do work with a lot of Pakistani companies developing apps and games, like game and non-gaming. And the trend has really shifted from like the ASO and the normal routine user acquisition method to performance driven and performance marketing patterns. So the first thing that I would love to mention is the data-driven decision making. So yeah, we have seen across all the top performing apps, and this is the consistent behavior that they have stopped relying on any guesswork. So they are majorly obsessed with data like cohort behavior, retention curves, return on ad spend targets, creating specific user funnel leaks, and seeing where the users are just not really engaging with specific screens, and then also calculating the lifetime value and lifetime revenue per user. And not just limiting to that, but they were also testing aggressively with creative level performance. So the creative level performance really matters, and we have seen a lot of success stories with with different kind of apps and different niche. They tested with several video variations and localizing the messaging. Like they stopped looking at generalized video creatives or generalized display creatives. So there was emergence of like using AI tools and AI stuff into those creatives, like changing the message. And also they were like testing the creative performance by CPI, like when there is a good creative, or we can call it a winning creative. So that was the creative where they were able to decrease their CPI by 30 to whooping 70%. And the best teams that we work with were constantly experimenting with these CPI and other data metrics. Secondly, on third point, I would like to add like diversification of user acquisition channels, specifically for performance marketing. Like initially back in 2024 and 2023, most of the app studios were only focused on Google UAC campaigns. But later on in 2025 and in late 2024, the app studios, specifically the game studios, started testing different user acquisition channels, like running campaigns on Meta, on TikTok, or on third-party networks, which were focused on the only on the app acquisition side. So that really helped them like lower their cost of CPI, plus allowing their over-reliance on just one platform. So, last but not the least, the main focus on user retention and increasing the lifetime value of the from the user. That was the main thing that really helped, in my opinion, to scale and to launch those apps globally. Like previously, it was only like what is the performance, what is the return on ad spend only. But later on, we also started looking into what's the retention, like what's the day 1 retention, day 7 retention, day 60 retention, plus what's the lifetime value that is coming from the geography side. Like maybe the same app is performing very good in Pakistan, and in any other Asia Pacific country. But they also started testing other geos, like stepping into Tier 1 and looking into the numbers and looking into the creatives. So that thing really helped increasing the overall retention, plus increasing the long-term value globally.
Thank you very much, Junaid. These are very insightful comments. Thank you for sharing your knowledge with us. Before I move on to the next question, I also want to quickly check in with you that how would you describe the evolution of Pakistan's app ecosystem in 2025, right? And in addition to what you talked about, what are some of the key drivers, key factors that are driving this growth?
Okay, sure. So yeah, in 2025, as you mentioned earlier, Pakistan has seen and both on app and gaming side, and we have witnessed a remarkable evolution, both in scale and in sophistication as well. And I would attribute it very firstly to the developer talent, the amazing developers, plus the monetization managers who really looked into the challenges and came up with some specific solutions. That skilled developer were not really limited to the traditional IT hubs like Karachi, Lahore, or Islamabad, but we saw some amazing developer talent coming out of from smaller cities like Multan or other South Punjab region. So that talent pool was increasingly capable of producing world-class apps, and they proved it right using right monetization strategies and scalable architecture across both gaming, non-gaming sectors. And we've seen like a lot of users and were trending into the use of AI and into AR, so interactive storytelling and apps specifically focused on social engagement. So that thing really helped into that. And secondly, I would really appreciate the overall support from the infrastructure and the overall ecosystem, because that really played a crucial role, like local tech incubators like OZI Group and accelerator programs and Google backed initiatives like Think Apps event happening every year. So that provided really that kind of learning, mentorship, and the easy access to the global network that really helped those developers to scale their products internationally without any traditional barriers. And aside from that, the overall community and collaboration are the key drivers, in my opinion, because I have seen a lot of good developer communities across all the social platforms on Reddit, on Facebook, and there are a lot of hackathons from different tech forums. So that has really encouraged knowledge sharing and sharing best practices among different companies. And that has really helped startups avoid any common kind of pitfalls and accelerated their growth. So in short, like Pakistan's app ecosystem in 2025 is no longer nascent. It's maturing into a globally competitive landscape. The combination of talent, the sportive infrastructure, the community access, the access to global marketing trends, plus a thriving developer community is creating a cycle of innovation, growth, and positioning Pakistan as an emerging hub for app development on the global stage.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Junaid. So we've had our first question already. So this is just a very nice segue into letting the audience know that please keep sending us your questions in the Q&A using the Q&A tab. They will appear straight away, and it will become very easy for us to answer the questions at the end of the session. Okay. All right. So what I'd like to do is just continue with the same question. Would Shehzad, would you like to add anything about, the evolution and what the key drivers are that are key factors are that are driving this growth? Would you like to add to that? And this is for everybody, by the way, the panelists. Yes, go ahead.
As you all know, till 2021, most of the Pakistani studios, they had like enormous organic downloads, and they used to spend low amount on the UA thing, and they were getting like a very good ROI on their apps. So since then, as the market has evolved a lot in terms of user experience, and the developers here in Pakistan especially focused on user experience, they focused on retention in order to improve their retention of their apps. and they worked on user experience and app quality. So as a result, many of the apps crossed millions of downloads, which were basically developed by Pakistani studios. And the second thing is opening of multi-channel user acquisition. Before that, people were spending less, and they used to have like Google Ads for user acquisition. But in 2025, we have seen small teams adopting some other channels for user acquisition as well, like Mintegral, Applemin, and some other some other networks as well. And in order to improve the quality, basically teams focused on user analytics as well. They used most of the small teams still are they are using like MMPs and Google Analytics for analyzing and understanding their users, and basically this helped them a lot to grow faster. And third, and the most important thing is basically the use of AI. With the invasion of AI, basically it really boosted up the things, like it helped them to create basically creatives in a fast manner, test them easily. They can easily test them, and obviously when they test them, they can make the decisions better. So overall, 2025 was a strong year where Pakistan basically moved from building apps to building global products. So I can see that Pakistan is basically now focused on building global products.
Yep. Very good. Thank you, Shazad. Ton, would you like to add to this about the key factors that are driving this growth? Would you like to add anything to this point?
Yes. Hi. Actually, I totally agree with the two guests sharing about all the factor that make the market evolve so fast, and from a fragmented small scale market to a more systematic one. And for me, in my understanding, there are a few driver to the development like that. I can see from a actual outsider because I'm located in Vietnam, right? I'm not actually inside the market, but I can see, people from your country going to global events. People, the community is very open and willing to adapt themselves to new things, to learn, to share the idea of what's going on in your internal market and what, like community here in Vietnam, what they do, what kind of change, and how they utilize all the methods in terms of to have a better marketing strategy. So I see the movement and the willingness to learn from the community. That is for me the most important factor that drive the market so far.
It's very nice. Thank you very much, Ton. So we've heard AI, we've heard, focusing more on growth, on user retention. We've heard learning. We heard learning from Junaid as well. All of us are reflecting. And then, of course, the international exchange of information, becoming more open to adoption. I think all of that is really, making it thrive. Anything else that you would like to add, Tree?
Yeah, I think everyone's here has covered most points, and I do agree that those are the key factors that lead up the market to where we are today. Just like from my observations, right, working with a lot of like studio in Pakistan, and I also just recently in Pakistan for Think Apps event, I have seen that the market have been evolved in a way that is towards, to very like right directions to more sustainable. If it's like, if talking like 3-5 years ago, there's a lot of companies that focus on IAA models, but now I would say that the hybrid concept plus like IAB focus, they're there. So I think that is the right direction to move forward. And I would say the company is no longer, becomes it's just like doing like developing products and like no one know who they are. But nowadays I would say the company also start building the branding as well. I think it's very important because right, like the products with the support from AI and with the source of developments in Pakistan, I would say the products can be replicated, but then the company like continue to building the brand, and also not only on their own product but also publishing products. I think that also really help a lot. I think also one thing that I noticed is that it's not only about the breadth of the market but also the depth as well. So some companies now like just focus on specific niche in the market, for example like AI focus, or like primarily focus on video or image editing, which they are specialized, and get the names on the market. So I do believe that is and also utilize different source of support as well. I mean, all of the panelists also mentioned about like MMP, about like using SocialPeta and other tool, and using multiple platforms, not only Google. And I do agree, because what worked for you and what bring the most value for you, you should try and you should do that. Yeah, but at the same time, I think like let's say if you are doing AI, right, so one very important factor that you are using is cloud and the AI, like AI tool platform. So yeah, I think that the team is like should also continue to leverage the resources that we have in the market to build a holistic growth. Yeah.
Great. Thank you very much. Thanks everybody. I think this is a very interesting conversation. What I'd like to do is, based on what the conversation is going, I'd like to come back to Ton. So Ton, looking at SocialPeta's data, what are the emerging trends that you've observed in user acquisition among Pakistani apps this year, 2025? And how are these trends influencing their performance in both local and international markets?
Okay. So looking at the SocialPeta dashboard as a third party ad intelligence platform, of course, what I can see in 2025 is that we have more Pakistani customer. I mean, you guys start using the platform like SocialPeta a lot. So I agree with the partner, but in just like a situation here in Vietnam, like 7 or 8 years ago, when people start develop mobile application, mobile game, or mobile non-game product, they just do the product and publish the product on store, and then organic user come. They do not need to do the ad promotion to gain to attract new user. But now situation changed, and I'm happy that SocialPeta had got some reputation in the market, and people start using SocialPeta to analyze the advertising market, to understand how competitor is doing, and that is the first the first thing that I noticed in Pakistani market. And of course, second thing, with our platform, we usually analyze. We have a few basic concepts. I mean, the number of game or app that do the ad promotion, we call it advertiser, right? And the number of advertiser that run new creative every month, or the percentage of new creative or new advertiser every month. We usually analyze those number, and basically out of the average in the world, Pakistani this year in 2025, I think publishers from Pakistan have ranked higher than the average in the world. So I saw that is a very positive side, that you have been focusing more on analyzing the advertising market, and then do the better ad promotion campaign. So that is what we can see from SocialPeta, and of course other partner or panelists will see more different. But from the perspective of SocialPeta, that's what I see.
Okay, so Tan, there's a question which is directly for you from this gentleman called Hasib. He's saying that they're aware of the creative importance in user acquisition. What are the key factors we need to monitor to decide the creative performance? And what should be the creative refresh frequency?
Okay, actually, basically for our advertising platform, many of our users they analyze the creative based on the index called impression. So basically, impression everybody knows the concept. It can be related to how much money that the advertiser has spent for that specific creative, right? But the basically impression is accumulated number. If the creative is active for like 1 month, so it is total impression of that 1 month. So one more concept that many of publishers here in Vietnam they want to know is whether that creative is still being promoted, which means that the advertiser still spend money on that creative or not. They will want to know the impression on the last 3 days or last week. They do want to know the total number of impressions. So we do have that index for user to check. They can check whether that creative is still, the trend is going up or the trend already going down in the last 3 or 7 days. Of course, I can show it more in more detail, but that is a concept, and we do have that data chain for the user to see and decide whether that creative is still working or not by defining whether competitors still spend money on that creative or not. And yeah.
No, I was just going to ask just sort of like a clarity question. So basically then, some creatives could be fine working for even a month,
Yep.
right?
Yeah, they're still
Okay.
active, but how
They're still
far is
active.
it? Yeah. And I still remember the next question is how frequent we need to set up a new setup creative, right? Actually,
Yes.
it's more basically in UA strategy. Basically, it depends on the advertising channel, right? For the channel like small channel, that the mainstream channel like Google or Meta, of course, the frequency is not that quick. But for channel like Mintero, for example, I think they test very frequently, like a few times per day.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I hope that answers your question, Hasib. Okay. All right. So moving forward, I think we're going to come to Google. Google, obviously, we talked about Tree a little bit earlier that, you've been one of the very strong partners to Pakistan's local app ecosystem. And what we'd like to understand is what are the best practices that you would like to see, or suggest for Pakistani developers to follow to improve their app quality, discoverability, and retention on Google Play?
Yeah. So I would say it's how to back to when we think about this, right? We try to complicate it. What should we done? What should we do? But in fact, that I would say there are like 3 level, right? It's like I would say the foundation, then the intermediate, and then the advanced level. So we'll start with the foundation, right? So foundation is like the 3 main important factor, right? When you run campaign with Google. And so when you run a campaign with Google, right, there were 3 main factors, which including the creative, the app setting for the bidding, and the bidding, the creative, and the measurement, right? So the 3 things that are very important that should be set up right. Yeah. On the product side, right, the quality of the product is very important, right? I think earlier one of the speaker mentioned about the retention. So retentions and the product quality and how user actually receive the product is very important. Yeah. And it have to be measured very closely when you first launch the product. Yeah. And I think that the foundation that everyone should be done is like, well from the beginning, from the get-go, right? And then to the intermediate level, right, it's not only when we think about the like how the like Google Play Store they make decision of the quality of the app. App is one thing, right? If your app is well received on the market, it's useful for the user, and it's done all the checklist from the Google Play Store, I think it's good to go. But then sometime, for all the update that you continue to update your app, plus the ad quality that you're running on the app, I think that also affect the user experience as well. Yeah. Which is like the monetization piece. And I think that's why we have a partner here from Advergic to also like, consult the partner, consult the all the advertiser and app developer to make it right. I would say it's very important. Yeah. And we also have like SocialPeta, like the experts in the creative. So I do think that is important, right? Because you want to attract the right user and at the same time deliver the fluid user experience to them. Yeah. So I think that the intermediate level, and then when it comes to more advanced level, right? Then you not only have 1 or 2 apps in your store, but you're gonna have many apps in one store. So how to consistently manage the quality of the apps and multiple apps in the portfolio that you have, that is very crucial, I would say. And like how to build a system, how to like robustly review, update, and continuously, consistently provide like the experience, good experience for your user. Yeah, so I think that is the way of the app developer, especially for new one, they should think about, or like even people who have experience. I would say like sometimes even I worked on the ad side, right? But then the app developers, they have to have the app ready first, so which means the app have to get approval on the Google Play Store. And sometimes it's just like someone who didn't know them so well and want them to publish the app on their Play Store. That that definitely a no, right? If you don't know the app, if you don't know someone very well, or I would say it shouldn't be the case where you helping someone to publish the app on the Google Play Store. Yeah, and I would say that is something that I do recommend people and app developers to think very carefully. Yeah, when they are like running the app. Yeah. And also it's if it's like a few years ago when the market is not crowded, right? So that will be easier to be found and be discovered on the Google Play Store. But I think all of the panelists today also agree on the fact that organic user is sound like you have it from organic. However, it's also an effort as well, right? If you do SEO, if you do ads, and then eventually you get the user from, then that also a lot of efforts, right? So I would say it had to done right and well from the beginning. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Tree. Sorry about that, by the way. I wanted to just check the Q&A and accidentally ended up sharing the question screen that we'd prepared at the back end. So follow-up question, Tree. So I think you've answered quite a bit of, my queries, but specifically for developers, if they wanted to understand which tools or programs they should be using to expand globally, could you highlight those as well?
Yeah. So with tool and program, would recommend developer to look to expand globally. I would say they're definitely, we have all the partner here. So actually I think it's well covered. Yeah, we have monetization, we have creative, and then we have Google Ads, right? Yeah, and I would say one of the missing piece that can be the measurement piece. Yeah, of course, if you are running with like SRMs or self reporting network like Google, Meta, TikTok, then you won't need the MMP to check on where the user come from, because they all can do self reporting. But then if you want to scale up and you want to run multiple platforms, then definitely that's one thing that I would say, yeah, definitely need to use that to understand where the user come from, where the user flow, what are the touch points. Yeah, so I think that is one. And then creative, I would say, even for us, right, creative is very crucial. And not only for, Google, it's like we also have text, we also have image. But then also for other platforms, like I would say for other platforms which are heavily on video, then creative even exhausts much faster. Yeah, so definitely having someone from having a platform like SocialPeta to helping with the creative, I do think that will ease a lot of efforts of optimizing and having a robust creative, approach to like drive the right user to your games and apps. Yeah. And I would say we definitely have to touch upon the monetization as well. Yeah, because again, right, if you're running ads but you don't see the result and you're not able to get the return on ad spend positive, then no point, right? So I would say, yeah, like having, if especially someone's a news or you've been struggling, I would say, yeah, working with partners, consulting from the monetization piece, I think it's definitely helped a lot. Yeah.
Thanks, Tree. Okay, I would just request everyone to keep taking a look, the panelists, take a look in the chat and take a look at the Q&A, because there's some questions that are coming also. So we'll get back to those in a bit. Meanwhile, what I'd like to do, Shahzad has been awfully quiet for very long. Sorry about that, Shahzad. I'd like to ask you, right? So considering you're at OZI Group, which is one of the leading players in Pakistan's app scene, what do you think are the common barriers that Pakistani apps face when they are going global? And how does OZI Group particularly help overcome them?
Thank you, Samar. I've worked with more than 100 apps at OZI Group, and I see three main barriers as far as the development part is concerned. The first one is basically the low retention. We all know many of the studios here in Pakistan, they used to develop many apps and quickly launch them, but they don't care about and don't improve the D1 and D7 retention. So without a strong retention, it's very hard to grow in the global market. And the second thing which I have seen is basically the late testing. Many teams test user acquisition too late, but globally it needs early testing. You have to do the CPI testing, just launch an MVP, test the CPI, and then if the CPI is good, then you have to move on with the retention thing, improve your product, improve the user experience, do A/B testing, do monetization testing to improve the ARPU and LTV. And this will lead you with a hit product in the global market. And the third and the most important thing, I think, in the testing thing is basically the creative testing as well. Many studios in Pakistan, they don't use basically to do the creative testing. We should have some parallel creatives in the testing phase. Once, Hasib, I want to answer the question of Hasib as well. Basically the creative fatigue, if your creative is performing well and achieving your objective, that creative is good. But in parallel, you should have some other creatives in testing phase as well. So when basically you see there's a dip in your objective of the campaign due to a particular creative, you should replace them with the better tested creatives, which basically you have in your testing queue. So a lot of things has to be done in a quick way. And I have seen many studios are still doing manually. They do everything manually? They don't use automated system. They don't use AI. In OZI Group, we have like AI-based dashboards to analyze the data and have a clear system to scale fast. Because the competition is, with the vision of AI, the competition is not only with the quality, but with the speed also. So speed, you can do things in a fast manner by using the AI. And obviously, basically the financial burden thing, many of the teams who used to develop good apps, but they don't have the financial capacity to invest on them because some of the app may have like 90-day payback period, 180-day payback period, and they have to invest on the UA part as well. And for this, what OZI Group has done, we have launched a separate unit in order to facilitate small teams within Pakistan who have some good products with strong KPIs. They can collaborate with us, and we will basically co-publish with them and take care of the financial aspect and help them to grow globally. So these are the things. And as far as that's all.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you, Shahzad. Okay, so I think there are a lot of questions, and I know that Junaid has been super busy, okay, answering most of the questions, but I think we should really go one by one to some of these questions, right? So I think some of them are for Tree. Tree, are you still with us right now? Should we talk about those, or we can talk about something else first then? So one of the questions which I thought was very interesting, and even though Junaid has answered it, but maybe that's worth other people also giving it a shot. This was about the eCPM volatility. Right. So the question came from Mohammed. He says that in Q4, when eCPM volatility is highest, what role does creative optimization, targeting, and regional diversification play in stabilizing revenue for Pakistani apps? So Junaid has already answered a very comprehensive answer. Is there any other answer that somebody would like to share over here? Not really good. What's well answered already? Okay. Okay, thanks, Junaid. All right. So, Tree, I think there are quite a number of questions about Google, right? And I think one of the questions that they're facing, so someone has written, and this was echoed somewhere else in the chat as well, that one of the major challenges for Pakistani entrepreneurs is facing sudden bans on the Google Play console. Even when operating legitimate businesses, it is crucial to discuss this issue and its potential solutions. Okay, and Iftikhar echoed the same question. So if you're with us, I think this is an important one to answer.
Yeah. So I would say, yeah, even we are in one Google, but Google Play is operating very separately from Google Ads or Google AdMob. So yeah, I would say unfortunately I wouldn't be the one who able to give like full answer on this.
Okay.
Yeah, from what I experienced so far and observed in the market is that it's, I would say that when it's happened that getting the ban, right, there will be a case there people don't even know what they get banned, right? But the reason why they don't give a very clear answer, and the reason why is also because there's also a case where people can use that to trick the system. Yeah. So I would say, so that's why they're not able to give you the full context and very detailed answer why. Yeah. And even us, right, even internally, we don't get the full answer. We a little bit more information, but not very detailed reason why. Yeah. So my suggestion is that to be very careful of if you are, let's say, if you just a few example, right? If the ads, if your app is listing to, let's say for example, to help user to solve problem A, then your app have to, the app function have to definitely help user to solve the problem A. Yeah. So you cannot like you cannot like say something and the app's not like do what you are saying. I think that is sometimes we come to the part that you either exaggerate of the functions, the functionality, or what the app able to do. I mean, that can also be the case, right? Or I would say ads also another factor that normally the advertiser not really focus on, which means the ad that display that you're running for multiple partner. So there will be the ad that is not bringing like good user friendly to your user. Yeah. So also have an eyes on what your ads is running, like the ads is that like showing on your apps. Yeah. I think that also, or like the apps that too frequent to like show too frequently. I would say those are the tactical part. But again, right, to be very honest, in most case when we see that it get banned, it's a reason behind. Yeah. So be very sincerely and have a discussion with the like follow up with the team of the reason why, and like you or like review the app very carefully. Yeah, whenever you have an update, or not only from the product side but also from the ad side, and the campaign that you're running. Yeah, so I think that should be done very frequently to limit the chance that you get banned from the Google Play. I mean, for me, right, I'm standing from Google Ads, so I definitely want everyone to get a chance, get a chance to advertise and promote your product with Google or the platform and able to scale up, right? But it's getting more crowded in the market, right? So definitely, if you say your app doing something, your app have to deliver what you are saying, yeah, and be very careful and continuously update, yeah.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Tree. I think you gave quite a long answer. Now, another question, maybe this is more for Shahzad, right? So Shahzad, they're asking, how can small startups compete with global giants who have unlimited resources and brand recognition? Or for anybody who would like to answer, but maybe Shahzad, maybe it could come towards you first.
Yeah, the basic thing is you should have some good product. Good product means the product should have some strong KPIs. Once you have that product, you can collaborate with some publishers in the market. They will run behind you after you to get that product because now uh, after in recent years, uh, the major impact is basically what are you getting out of your app in terms of monetization, in terms of money, what are you spending. So it's all about like LTV and the CPI thing. So if you have some good product, it should have less CPI and it should have like a good LTV. So it will be easier for you. You can come to us even if you have some good product. You are welcome to. We will collaborate with you and scale your product.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else wants to answer, wants to help with this question?
Yeah, I just chiming very quickly. I think everyone had to start from somewhere, right? And I mean, remember that even the big studios like OZI Group also, still to be a smaller one. Yeah, of course, it's a timing matter where they see opportunity and they're jamming, but everyone have to start from somewhere, right? So I do agree on the part that Cesar mentioned about the product quality. Yeah, and I also want to emphasize on finding your niche as well. Like I knowing that the market trend is there are a lot of things going on, but focus on what you are good at and leverage your unfair advantage, right? Like AI or the gaming knowledge industry. Yeah, and can also getting the support from other companies like I think OZI Group at the publishing company, or I mean a lot of like fundings are actually available nowadays. Yeah.
So let's talk a little bit about that as well, Tree, because one of the other questions, you can answer it and other people can also answer it. So it's a more provocative question, okay, that Iftihar is written, okay, but the question is valid where he talks about that major gaming studios in Pakistan already have well-established relationships with Google, so they can use AdWords promotion budgets for installs, but the smaller freelancers, or indie studios, they wouldn't have this capacity because they have low budgets, right? So when we were talking about partnerships, and I know now that Google is setting up an office in Pakistan, right? So how could smaller studios or indie studios or freelancers, still manage to either develop better connections, let's say with Google? Are there certain programs for funding that are available to smaller studios? What could they do to better use AdWord promotion, and get that done?
Yes, so I would say there's a few ways that I see, because I manage a lot like medium, smaller size studio across the region. So I would say first is that if like having a like partner on board, like co-founder on board, I think that's very important. I see a lot of studio, either they have only developer on their team, which is very tricky, right? Because then you have a lot of people who can develop good product, but basically you cannot able to marketing your product, right? So I would say that very important to have your team ready from the get go. Yeah, and then talking about the Google ends or how we can support, I would say these community webinar or activities that we are hosting very often the last few years, like 1 or 2 years, and also the Think App event is one thing that I think everyone should leverage to get like updated with all of the products and how we are supporting the market. Yeah, so I think that one. Another way for us to collaborate that I also share I will share on the chat about our program regarding the acceleration program that we provide for app developer. Of course, right. For this program, we also want to target to the one who want to scale up, right? Because there are a lot of chances like you are still early on your product development. So I do recommend that focus on product development and having, the product that is meet some certain criteria, because otherwise, right, if you pour your money into advertising when the product is not ready, then it kind of waste of money. Yeah. So then I will put in here the program that we are helping the developer in the market, and if anyone who are eligible, then we will definitely contact after this webinar. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Sri. So I see a lot of questions related to AI as well. So I'm going to read them out and then, whoever would like to answer from the panelists. So one question is about, give us a use case of AI in terms of creatives for a game and an app which can be a game changer in terms of performance. So let's talk about go-to apps that you guys are using perhaps in the industry. So for creatives and also for an app. For a game, sorry, and for an app. Yeah. Does anybody have any thoughts?
As far as the AI is concerned, AI can be used basically to develop 3D models in the gaming. So many tools are available, so many AIs are available, you have to choose the best one. For the first and the foremost thing is you can develop those assets in minimum time with best quality, and you can use them. This will pace up your production time as well. And as far as the creative testing is concerned, I mean that there are so many AI tools available. Even if I talk about Nano Banana, recently launched by Google, you can just give him an image creative, and ask it to basically imagine the creative like the uploaded one. It will create it in minutes. So this will enhance the creative testing process as well. So many tools are available. Even in SocialPeta, they have given the feature to create a prompt of your competitor creative. Once you have the prompt, you can go in any tool and write down the prompt, paste the prompt, and have the creative.
Perfect. Thank you. So follow up to that is which AI tools? Okay, so everybody knows there are multiple AI tools, but they're specifically asking which AI tools are best for creating ad assets like image, video, and playable ads. So if anybody has any, thoughts, this would be useful to answer.
Well, we don't know about the playable ads. We don't know any AI right now. I don't think so. There any AI is available for creating playable ads. But for like images, image creative, you can use Midjourney, Nano Banana. Even you can use ChatGPT as well. So image is not a problem. As far as the video creative is concerned, once you have the script, even VO, Google recently launched VO, I think, correct me. Train?
Yeah, can you say again? Yeah, I was just sharing the form in the chat. Yeah.
Okay, so Google basically recently launched VO to play AI in order to create the video creatives as well, and they have basically given the demo in App Growth event as well in Pakistan. So a lot of tools are available. You can just test them, and whichever suits you, you can just use it.
Perfect. Thank you, Shazad. Okay, there's a question specifically for Ton. So Ton, they're saying we're noticing that the number of ad impressions reported in SocialPeta does not match the impressions we see on our own apps. When we compare our in-app data with the creatives shown, the impression counts still don't align. What factors can cause this discrepancy, and how should app publishers interpret or validate such third-party data?
Okay, thanks for the question. Actually, it's totally understood that there's gonna be some, difference or variation between your actual data and the data on social beta, especially for impression. To be clear, impression is the number we estimated ourselves using social beta algorithm. So talking about the accuracy, it might not be 100%. It of course not 100% accuracy. There's gonna be some gap between the actual number and the number shown in social beta. What's important here is the ranking, because when you do the sorting, of course you sort by impression, and that's gonna be a rank between the highest impression one and the lowest impression one, right? As long as the ranking is right, and we as the globally recognized team, we have been working to keep that ranking right. And then we have been working with many partner in the market to keep the gap stable. We can A lot of our customer, they recognize the gap, but after like 1 year or more than 1 year of using our platform, they recognize the gap being stable. They can see even though there is the difference, but it doesn't change month after month. They see the gap, and then from that stable gap, they can estimate themselves based on our number in social beta. They can estimate the actual number of competitors. So that's what they are doing at the in the market at the moment. So.
Thank you. All right, so there's a specific question for Tree again. Mubin is asking, can you please share your best advice on the Tai Chi Google Ads strategy and how should we set up the campaigns?
Yeah, I would say for this one, right? The Tai Chi solution, I think we heard a lot recent year, because we also represent this at the Google Think Apps. But I think it's just like keep in mind, right? We have the Google Ads solution for running ROAS campaign for IAs, and we also have the hybrid. So I do recommend to run this first, because that is we have the 5-day event, and that is like the standard event, so it's synchronized, and it's like, and then actually it's already helped quite a lot, right? Because otherwise with the Tai Chi, you have to create your own, you have to set up your own event as well. Yeah, and there are a lot like things on the back end that you have to done on your own. So that's why, if right, like the daily budget is still less than 10K per day, and I don't recommend to try something that it will need a lot of review, a lot of like setup behind, just for optimizing. Yeah. So I think that in my short answer. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. All right, so we're down to literally our last 8 minutes or so. Okay, I have a hard stop in 8 minutes, according to SocialPeta, who is helping us organize this webinar. So I think there are just a couple more questions which we can potentially answer. There's one which talks about what are the most important factors of getting the low CPI and high ROAS. So we've talked a lot about this already. If there's anything that we want to add to it, feel free. Tan, do you want to say something? You're on
Okay.
mute.
Okay. Actually, that is the same target for everybody doing in the market, right? Low CPI, high ROAS. But how to do that? I remember that Mr. Sanjay thought about the good product, but how we do the good product, right? And from our perspective, now what we can see with the data on social beta, you can try the ranking. Can you try the ranking of a new game or app in the market based on the number of the number of advertising they are placing. So those are not on top of the chart yet. They are still very potential. And I remember Jing said you need to focus on the niche market, on what you are good at. Because based on your experience and based on the ranking of those products, you can choose the suitable product for your team based on the target market, based on your experience, based on the data that you have on the third party platform like your social beta. And then many cases in Vietnam and in China itself, they do like that, and they are able to find the product that performing very well for them. And many Chinese team, when they come to Vietnam, they always, of course, follow the top publishers in Vietnam or worldwide to see the top product, and those might be another way. Nothing sure, but of course we need to check from many sources and then decide based on your own experience and your appetite, right?
Thank you. Thanks, Tan. Okay, and final, I think, question. How can you track IAA campaign value exactly?
IWA?
IAA campaign. How can you track the IAA campaign value exactly? Is that something we can answer?
Oh, IA campaign, of course, we do not know the exact number, right?
Okay.
We
Okay.
can only check IAP, no IAA.
Okay. All right. And then, Junaid, you've highlighted that you would like to answer a question which is sort of not entirely linked. Okay, it's more about, what is the role of marketing and creative designers when AI is helping way more than creative designers in marketing. Okay, all right. Somebody is really interested in knowing what's going to happen with the future of marketing and creative designers. You'd like to answer that live? You've written. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, so I would like to highlight like while even if AI takes over many of the creative and marketing legwork, but human designers and marketers remain crucial in this process because their role will shift from a basic execution to strategy development, curation, or like into more getting more insights. So AI is can only help outputting some ideas, maybe create some drafts or add variants, etc. But it's always going to be humans that would pick or pick those creatives, or they would tweak it or combine the best ones to create a final polished version. And there was some other questions about like how AI is going to help in creatives or creative optimization. So I would like to mention an example. Like I know an app marketer who created and finalized around like 200 different creative sets. And then he used AI to create localized versions and playable as Shehzad was speaking. Like there can be playable ads created from different display creatives. So he used AI to create around more than 10,000 creatives from those 200 copies. And that literally helped them create and run campaigns across different geos. That is and be profitable, have like a lot of low CPI and get good ROAS. So that's where AI is going to help the marketers and creative process, but it's not that it's going to be get replaced or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what we need to do, I think everybody needs to focus on enhancing their skill set, bottom line, because now AI exists, so the basic tasks are taken care of, which is an opportunity for you to start working more on, let's say, the next level, right? And how best to use it. So better prompts, how best to utilize AI. I think those are skill sets that we need to enhance constantly, and especially keep an eye out on all the new tools that are coming out, right? And how best you can leverage them rather than worrying about,
Exactly.
okay, how am I going to, if we don't do that, then unfortunately, yes, we will become obsolete, right? So that's something to keep an eye out on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I know that some of the questions we've not been able to answer, so I'm going to request all of the panelists to leave their LinkedIn in the comment chat, so people can reach out to you guys directly if you'd like to answer some of their questions. We tried and answered most of the questions for now. The other thing, the final sort of, parting thoughts that I would like the panelists to hear from them. Looking ahead to 2026, what do you think is the single most important trend or opportunity that you see for Pakistan's app ecosystem? So that's literally the final question. Very short answers requested. Okay. Who wants to go
Okay,
first?
so yeah, so
Okay.
I am Okay, so looking ahead to 2026, the biggest opportunity for the app ecosystem in Pakistan, what I think from my view is a strategic shift from focusing purely on the user acquisition model to build a long-term sustainable revenue growth. So if we look out into other markets, so what they did was the most successful apps in US and other Tier 1 markets are no longer just chasing new users or new acquisition funnels. They are optimizing their existing user base, and they are optimizing how much revenue they earn from each user in their lifetime value. So Pakistani apps, I think during the next year can adopt to the same approach by personalizing the user journey and creating dynamic kind of paywalls, like showing premium content or high value ads to those users who are more likely to pay, while offering like some core contextual or targeted ads to users with who have low purchasing power. So that would ensure that they can uh, have a longer retention of the users, plus without annoying anybody from the overall ecosystem. One last key factor or the critical thing that I would love to mention is playing around user privacy with the increasing restrictions on data sharing and third-party platforms. So those apps who can leverage first-party data, the information that is collected directly from the users in their own platform, to create smart partnerships or to create specific advertiser-related or ad platform-related partnerships. So that would really allow them to design customized kind of ad solutions for and ad solutions plus different kind of playable ad formats, interactive ad formats for direct advertisers, and that would really help them give a competitive edge in the overall monetization.
Okay, thank you, Junaid. Like I said, shorter answers, please, everyone. Okay.
Yeah.
We're looking ahead. Thanks anyway. I'm just joking too. Looking ahead to 2026, what is the single most important trend or opportunity that you see for Pakistan's app ecosystem? Who wants to go next? Shazad, I think. Yeah, you're mute. You're mute again.
So for me, the biggest opportunity 2026 is basically the AI automation. And it's not just about the generative AI, it's agentic AI. Basically, agentic AI basically resolves many of the problems. It helps in execution as well. Like it can create creatives in a much quicker manner. UI automation, it can optimize your campaigns. It can scale your campaigns based on the data which it receives and making decision itself to achieve your business goal. So it can test your store listings as well. It can predict your ROAS. It can save you a lot of time. So instead of doing manual work, you can focus on strategy. So AI will make Pakistan developers, I think, more faster, more stronger, and more global. So for me, 2026 is the year Pakistan becomes AI-driven app ecosystem.
Perfect. Thank you, Shazad. That's a very optimistic note and a very good one, and completely aligned. So, Tree, I'm coming to you for the same question.
Yeah, so I think both Sazas and Junaid have mentioned most point, which is I also agree. I think one of the thing that I noticed on gaming is that there's now there are also a lot of game company that building game which have like multiple mini games in one game. So I observed that also a trend as well. But I haven't seen that a lot in Pakistan. Yeah, it's also have HTML5 game that I seen in Pakistan, but the game that have multiple mini games, that I think that can also be a trend. And you can analyze, you can search more about that. Other than that, then AI and how you are using AI to optimize the whole funnel, building product to marketing and creative. I think definitely it have to be a part of your day-to-day work. Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you, Tree. Okay, Tan, last words.
Okay, basically from our dashboard, we see a lot of user data suggesting that AI generated creatives like short video or more importantly, playable are getting more and more important. Of course, that's everyone has mentioned. From my understanding, there is a interesting trend that the community in Pakistan can look into is the hot topic on social network like TikTok. Some of the community in Vietnam they have successfully used a hot topic like in TikTok to create a game that are very successful. And yeah, that might be a aspect you should look into.
Very interesting. Thank you, Tan, for that. Okay, all right. So without much ado, I think now it's the time to close the panel. Thank you very, very much for all of your time. I would recommend to all of the guests and the audience that next time pop in your questions sooner rather than later, so we can actually get to them during the panel. But thank you very much for being a very engaged audience. I hope we tried and answered as much of your questions. Whatever's left, please go ahead and reach out to people on LinkedIn. The panelists have dropped their LinkedIn profiles as well. So thank you very, very much once again to all of the participating companies as well, SocialPeta, OZI Group, Epiphany, and Advergic. And thank you to each one of the panelists for making this a very rich and in-depth conversation. Tan, Shazad, Junaid, and Tree, it was a pleasure. All right, have a great day, evening,
Have a great
Thank
day.
week,
you.
everything.
Thank you.
Have a great
Thank you
day.
so much. Thank you,
Bye-bye.
everyone.